G'day, David here, and as someone who's made the grand total of a single step stool and a few picture frames, I'm obviously now ready to take the leap into being a totally professional furniture maker and start turning some of this free pallet wood into profit. So, let's prove that someone with basically zero experience and some basic tools can make some money from gluing pallet wood together on the floor of a garage. The real question, though, is what to make. Time to channel my inner Winnie the Pooh and think. Thinking, however, wasn't coming easy, so time for some inspiration. Suddenly, a video I'd watched days ago in my seemingly never-ending woodworking YouTube binge popped into my mind.
G'day. Pretty simple. Just get started.
Alright, Mark, I will. I had a realisation moment. It doesn't need to be a masterpiece. Not everything needs to be perfect. If I can make something that allows me to grow as a woodworker, get some more confidence, and have it reflect a little bit of me, even if no one ends up wanting to buy it, I'll still enjoy the process. And hey, that's why I'm doing all this anyway. For a moment there, just a brief moment, I think I may have lost my why. So, after all that, I think we're going to create an entry table. After all, Mark says that everyone needs one, and his first one sold in just a few hours.
Casciola I was making from my hallway table side hustle.
So, let's throw caution to the wind and do what I do best. Wing it. What will it look like? Well, I'm not entirely sure, but it will have legs. 3 legs, to be precise. Because in my wisdom, I've decided to make a 3-legged entry table. Because, that's not weird at all. The real question is, though, will it sell? Well, let's find out. As well as break down the money spent and hours invested for said dollary doos. Morley Kurt style. First up is milling down the pine boards for the legs and cutting them to rough size. I've gone over my poor man joint to jig method of milling down boards in another video, and that should be... there you go, there it is. If you want to know the full process, click there. Otherwise, let's jump to some angles. Now that we have most of it cut to size, we can continue with my glue addiction. I mean, professional application. These 4-mided pieces will form a large square leg. I only used blue tape here to secure it, which worked, mostly. But next time I will clamp it. As while it dried, it loosened, and I ended up with some seams on the edges. Nothing terminal, but it did annoy me enough to use wood filler. In the end, we'll be painting all the legs, so it will hide all the sins anyway. See? Perfect amount of glue squeeze out right there. Now this is one of the pallet slabs we made from our last video on pallet hunting, and I've obviously watched too many black epoxy table videos, as for some reason I thought it would be a good idea to use black filler for the top. Oh boy, did this make my life harder. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First up, chamfering all the edges of the slab, and a ton of sanding. I think everyone has their favourite parts of woodworking. Sanding for me is my favourite time to dream about having a decent sander and dust collection. I seriously need to sort out dust collection at some point. It's getting ridiculous in here. My current dust collection setup is my broom versus the wind, and I seem to be losing that battle. But despite everything, we're on the final stretch. With all the pieces together, we just need to prep it all for finish, fight with that damn black wood filler, paint, assemble, and get some Insta-worthy photos for the sale ad. So, cue the montage music, and let's go. Oh, hang on, wait. There's one more sketchy cut on the table saw to do, for our little lid. Okay, now we have all the bits. Back to the montage. Alright, so despite me trying multiple ways to get that thing out, it seems to be pretty well stuck in there, so no need for glue, let's just hammer it down. it's 2 out of 2 broken. Don't know, maybe I wasn't drilling the holes deep enough, wide enough, I don't know. Anyway, they're both going to be just stuck in there forever now without glue. So I better saved us some glue. Okay, so it's done, and I am super happy with how it came out. We have some nice photos, and it's time to try and sell it. After doing a bit of research, I feel like $350 dues is a fair price for what it is. Alright, I'm going to be honest. We haven't had a single message. I've had a bit of a look at the ad and changed it around a little bit, but realistically I've probably been a little bit too ambitious on price. So we're going to drop it to $280 and see what happens. Here's to hoping. Okay, so we've had a few messages with a couple of people that seemed really interested. But we've had one in particular that seems to love it, and she's coming up now to have a look. So hopefully she likes it, and it's our first sale.
Oh, how are you?
Turns out she did.
Back and forward because that weighs a ton. That's 10 kilos.
Oh, beautiful.
So, excellent. Thank you. Oh, I'm wrapped.
Oh, I'm glad you like
So
it.
well worth the drive. You've got no idea. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll take a picture when it's finished, when I put it up.
Please do, yeah.
And she did. It's in its new home. And now it's official. We're fully professional furniture makers. But let's break down how long it took, how much it cost, and most importantly, the old $1 profit. So let's go over the materials. The 2 threaded inserts were a whopping 89 cents. The brass bolts, $1.58. The glue, paint and tung oil, look, to be honest, I'm not sure. But for the sake of it, let's call it $5 dues so no one says that I'm underestimating. This gives us the grand total of $7 dues and 47 cents. Now at this point, it's all looking pretty good. However, let's go over the hours involved. So far we've spent 6 hours and 57 minutes on the project. We also need to add in a third of the time from our pallet hunting video, as that's about the amount of materials we're using from it. So there's another 1 hour and 45 minutes there. Let's add in another 10 minutes for taking photos and posting the ad, so all up, That's about 8 hours and 52 minutes. Let's call it an even 9 to make it easy. We sold the table in the end for $280 dues, minus the material costs of $7.47, so that's a total profit of $272.53. Breaking it down, this gives us an hourly rate of $30.28, which, for a first time, is actually pretty good. To put it in perspective, the national minimum hourly rate in the land of the long weekend is $23.23.